Kelihatan, Pak.
Oke.
Kelihatan, Pak.
Ya. Konsep komputer, compute, menghitung, ya. Komputer menghitung, akar kata dari komputer. Dia merupakan seperangkat elektronik yang dapat yang terdiri dari penerima masukan, input, ya. Bisa masukan itu datang dari keyboard sebagai perangkat input, mouse, scanner, ya, card feeder, itu adalah input device. Selanjutnya melakukan pengolahan, ya. Central Processing Unit, CPU, ya. Di sana ada control unitnya, ya. Ada arithmetic logic unitnya, ada primary storage-nya, ya. Menghasilkan suatu output, ya. Keluaran berupa informasi yang dikeluarkan ke output device, bisa melalui monitor, printer, speaker, ya, proyektor. Nah, juga membutuhkan auxiliary, ya, storage device, ya, di flash disk, hard disk, ya, flash drive. Sistem komputer adalah kumpulan dari elemen-elemen komputer yang terdiri dari hardware, software, dan brainware yang saling terintegrasi dan berinteraksi untuk melakukan pengolahan data dengan tujuan menghasilkan informasi sesuai dengan yang diharapkan, ya. Sehingga komputer engineering, ya, itu dibangun dari computer science, ya, software, dan electrical engineering, ya, kontribusi hardware. Oke, beberapa manfaat adanya komputer dalam kehidupan manusia seperti sekarang ini, kita dimampukan untuk belajar jarak jauh, ya, melakukan computer based education. Bagaimana komputer, ya, membantu proses belajar mengajar, ya. Temukanlah e-library, ya, yang di dalamnya itu library-nya sudah berisi buku-buku e-book, e-learning, ya. Di sana diberikan learning management system, ya, seperti kita memiliki LMS, ya, yang mengatur proses belajar mengajar dan penyimpanan dokumen. Dan diberi juga kemampuan, ya, untuk bertatap muka, telekonferensi. Oke, sangat berkembang peranan komputer dalam bidang pendidikan, apalagi dengan, ya, pemicunya itu sekarang adanya pandemi, ya. Bidang manufaktur, ya, produksi, ya. Bagaimana komputer terlibat, ya, untuk memproduksi baik desainnya CAD maupun produksinya, manufacturingnya, ya. Dia terintegrasi dengan kontrolnya, ya. Jadi CNC integrated itu sekarang ini sangat mudah juga untuk dioperasikan, ya. Pada bidang perbankan, ya, sekarang pelanggan sudah cenderung tanpa buku, ya. Tidak ada lagi buku rekening, tapi sudah sifatnya, ya, non fisik. Artinya komputer membantu, ya, meningkatkan dalam transaksi rutin, periodik, ya, maupun insidentil, yang memberikan informasi dengan cepat dan tepat, ya. Contoh sistem informasi manajemen perbankan, ya, mesin cash register, ya, yang dilengkapi dengan kontrol komputer, kemudian scanning barcode, ya. kode barang dagangan, menghitung rugi laba dan inventory. Jadi sangat berkembang di dunia bisnis dan perbankan. Komputer juga berkontribusi berperan dalam perkembangan ilmu pengetahuan. Hal-hal yang tidak mungkin bisa dilakukan di komputasi oleh manusia, ya, dengan komputer sekarang ini memungkinkan sehingga bisa digunakan sebagai keperluan penelitian, membuat model reaktor nuklir yang sangat sulit, ya, membuat model-model atom dan molekul, mempelajari keadaan struktur tanah, keadaan angin dan cuaca. Tidak kalah pentingnya juga komputer sangat berkembang di dunia games, entertainment. Ya. Bagaimana pembuatan animasi, periklanan, setting, bahkan untuk bermain musik sekalipun. Ya. Nah, games-games 3 dimensi, ya, dilengkapi dengan audio visual yang menarik, ini memberikan special effect, ya, dengan dimanfaatkannya komputer pada bidang entertainment dan games, ya. Komputer juga membantu memberi manfaat komunikasi jaringan global, ya, dalam yang kita kenal dengan internet. Di mana kita tahu ya adanya internet ini akan memudahkan orang untuk mencari informasi, ya misalnya berita, buku, perpustakaan, kebutuhan belanja online, games, email, konsultasi, dan masih banyak lainnya, di mana jaringan komunikasi, ya, sangat membantu perkembangan penerapan dari komputer dalam kehidupan umat manusia. Ya. Nah, ada 9, ya, menjadi pertimbangan pemilihan kemampuan komputer. Ya. Ada 9 aspek, 9 elemen, ya, terkait dengan speed, ya, selalu dikaitkan dengan high speed. Kemampuan yang tidak akan pernah habis dan selalu dikeluhkan. Kemudian storage, ya, storage capability. Kemudian reliability, ya. Akurasi. Komunikasi, ini salah satu sifat karakter ya kemampuan komputer. Versatility, automation, diligence, akses data. Semakin hari semakin cepat, ya, dari miles ke mikrosecond, nanosecond, ke picosecond, ya, di mana dia mempengaruhi kecepatan dari suatu, ya, suatu akses data. Kemudian penyimpanan, ya, dengan perkembangnya baik dari sisi konten maupun dari sisi aplikasi, ya, kapasitas storage penyimpanan internal seolah-olah tidak lagi cukup untuk batasan tertentu, sehingga perkembangan dari kualitas penyimpanan data storage itu sudah mengarah ke terabyte, ya, 1 byte itu 8 bit 1 karakter. Berdasarkan data yang diolah, kita mengenal analog komputer, berarti fenomena alam ditangkap secara analog oleh mata kita, keadaan fisik kita, ya. rasa kita seperti suhu, cuaca, ya. Nah, ini menentukan untuk memberikan proses selanjutnya menuju komputerisasi, komputer digital, yaitu dengan mengkonversikan analog to digital. Bilang karakteristik komputer tadi, ya. Kemampuan tadi ternyata dia memilih komputer tidak mempunyai perasaan atau emosi sehingga aktivitasnya akan bersifat statis. Komputer mampu menyimpan data yang besar dan dalam waktu yang lama, dan sifat data yang disimpan bersifat dinamis, yang artinya dapat dilakukan perubahan kapanpun. Ya. Komputer bisa melakukan pengurutan dan pencarian waktu yang singkat secara menarik atau menaik atau menurun. Komputer mampu mengolah data perhitungan yang besar, ya, cepat, akuratif. Ya. Komputer juga memiliki keterbatasan, ya, seperti manusia memiliki keterbatasan, komputer juga memiliki keterbatasan. Ya. Oke, nah, peranan kecerdasan buatan pada komputer kita tahu, ya, bagaimana di dalam dunia pendidikan, dalam dunia instruksi, dalam dunia pembelajaran, ya, komputer sangat membantu untuk meningkatkan kualitas dari suatu kursus online secara internet misalnya, ya, dan interaktif electronic books. Ya. Jadi komputer aided instruction itu menggunakan komputer yang dapat dimensimulasi perilaku guru dengan fitur dan karakteristik komputer, dan untuk mencapai tujuan pembelajaran yang lebih baik dengan siswa dalam kegiatan interaktif. Engineering juga berperan dalam, ya, pertumbuhan perkembangan dari GPS, ya. Oke, kira-kira inilah rangkuman dari komputer engineering, ya. Integrasi dari computer science dan electrical engineering. Kita bisa ngikutin video learning berikut ini, bagaimana karir, peluang karir, ya.
Home, there's no place like it. Follow me, Nick Offerman, as I take you on a journey.
This video is going to cover careers and jobs you can get in computer engineering.
Dengaran?
Pak, izin Pak.
In my other video on computer engineering, I talked mostly about the career. Let's get into what you can.
Translate-nya bisa diganti ke Indonesia nggak Pak?
Now note that computer engineering is pretty much the combination of computer science
Di
and
dalam
electrical.
bahasa.
So as you're watching this, you may ask whether an electrical engineer or maybe a computer scientist could also do that job. And the answer
Ini
is
settingnya di mana?
yes for at least one of them.
Okay.
It's rarely some black and white answer of
Di CC itu Pak.
only computer scientists can do this.
Di
They have their
mana?
differences, which I discussed in another video.
Yang CC Pak.
Give you an idea
Hah?
of what you can expect.
Yang CC itu Pak, yang di sebelah
So many
setting.
jobs you can get into
YouTube-nya.
include
Di
software
setting situ Pak ada sebelah.
engineer, network systems administrator, and
Ini.
a few others, all of which I talked
Sebelahnya,
about
Pak.
computer science.
Subtitle.
They're linked below, so I don't repeat everything. So again, there is
Subtitlenya itu
But of the many subfields of computer engineering, the first I'll talk about is computer vision.
English,
This is really big in
nggak
robotics,
ada
but that's not
Indonesia.
the only option. Computer vision is basically about making a computer understand visual data. Like instead of a sensor that can just detect that an object
Nggak ada.
is near, computer vision would be like a
Oke,
computer
Pak.
recognizing a person in a picture versus an animal, and it would do this with high precision. But computer vision can also be broken down into more subcategories like image restoration, or taking a corrupted or noisy photo and being able to estimate the original. Or there's motion estimation, where basically given a sequence of images, a computer would determine what moved and how it moved. This could help in gesture recognition. It can help for lip reading if you have no audio, which could maybe help for security purposes. Or it could help in robotic surgery, like analyzing heart movements during heart surgery. But going back to computer vision in general, you can apply this to detecting events, like counting how many people walk into a store. It can help in navigating a robot or a self-driving car. It can apply to inspecting products, like in manufacturing, to see if they are properly made. Or it can apply to medical applications, like recognizing an abnormality, such as a tumor, in a medical image. Looking up jobs in computer vision, the first two that actually came up were at Snapchat as a research engineer, where you'd use knowledge of 3D reconstruction, image tracking, matching, multi-camera computer vision systems, and more to develop computer vision systems for the application. There was one listing at a virtual reality company where you design computer vision software and develop real-time 3D scene reconstruction while implementing algorithms for object detection and recognition. And note, these were research jobs, so they did require masters or even PhDs in order to enter into that specific job. Moving on to another field is computer networks. Computer networks are basically a way to allow computers to share resources. Basically, when two devices can exchange information, they are networked together. This could be like connecting to the World Wide Web, computers connected to a printer, or even a fax machine, and so on. There are lots of applications to this. How the network is laid out, dealing with network traffic, how they transfer data, like through wires or wirelessly, like with Wi-Fi, are all important. In fact, as a quick side tangent, computer scientists learn an algorithm called Dijkstra's algorithm that I talked about before, which helps determine the shortest path from one point to another, which can apply to something like Google Maps. But one of the most well-known applications of this is applying it to computer networks and optimizing their connections and how information is transferred. And networks comprise of a lot of things, but some that you may know include a modem or a router. You can get jobs in designing the hardware for these. You can get into network security and making sure hackers can't get into the network. You can be a computer network architect, where you have to basically design the data communication networks, such as local area networks, where the computers are more closely linked, like within one building or a few adjacent buildings. Then there's wide area networks, which is where the computers are further apart. And intranets, which are private networks only accessible to an organization's employees. Honestly, there are a lot of jobs you can get into in this field. Next, another subfield is embedded systems, which is also a very broad field. Embedded systems are basically a computer system which performs a certain function within a larger mechanical or electrical system, hence it is embedded in the larger system. This can include MP3 players, small radios, washing machines, traffic lights, avionics, rockets, and more. Here's the interior of a certain modem, and you can see there's many components to it. There's a microprocessor, the flash memory, and much more. And this is an embedded system that is part of the entire modem/router system. So you can work in designing these components, making sure the embedded system works properly within the larger system it's a part of. One job listing I found was as an embedded systems engineer, which was for recent college graduates, which included PCB or printed circuit board design and testing for whatever projects they are working on, ranging from analog sensor interfaces to high-frequency devices for communications. Two other fields you can get into, which I'll just talk about as one, are compilers and operating systems. Compilers are what convert computer code in some programming language into machine code that can be read by a computer. So like when you type printf hello world, it prints hello world to the screen. But how does the computer actually know what to do? Because computers can't actually read this. They don't read most of the languages that you will be programming in. They can only read machine code, whereas this is called source code. So a compiler, which is just a program, takes that code that a person can read and converts it to a language that the computer can read and execute. Looking up job listings, there's one at Google where you'd work on a lot of the aspects of Google Chrome, from compiler optimization to security features. Or there's one for an artificial intelligence research company where you'd help create compilers for systems tailored for big data processing. These are mostly software engineering roles because compilers are simply programs you'd be writing rather than working with hardware. Then operating systems can get quite complicated. They're what manage computer hardware and software resources and provide services for computer programs. Pretty much all computer programs require an operating system. Cell phones, video game consoles, as well as supercomputers all include operating systems, just to name a few examples on top of a normal desktop computer. Common operating systems you've probably heard of are Windows for desktop, or iOS and Android, which are both mobile operating systems. And engineers are needed to make these and keep updating them. Remember, these jobs will be mostly in software rather than working with hardware. Because you can update your computer to Windows 10 or update your iOS on your iPhone without physically having to replace parts. It's all computer code that engineers had to work on. And you can take classes in college dedicated to compilers and operating systems, so there's way more to them than what you've seen here. Then another field is signal processing, which is common for electrical engineers as well. You absolutely could get into the field as a computer engineer. Signal processing is about the analysis and modification of signals, which are basically functions that convey some kind of information like speech, text, video, temperature, force, etc. For example, this is a signal that looks really messy. No one can really tell you anything special about this. But using signal processing techniques, you get a plot like this that shows it actually contains a very specific frequency. So you can see maybe someone has a device operating at that very specific frequency. Or if you wanted to make a signal jammer to block this signal, this technique can help you determine what frequencies are coming from a device. This has so many applications, so there's no way to include everything, but it can be used for speech processing, like determining what someone says by the signal from a microphone. It can be used in image processing, like unblurring an image, or using filtering techniques to determine brightness changes and more to get more detail. These images you see here are a result of different filtering techniques to achieve the image here. This is the end result where all the other pictures are where you'd start out. There's seismology and detection of earthquakes, video processing, control systems, and even compression or reducing the amount of bits while not losing information, and much more. There are jobs listed at a company developing audio equipment to optimize the quality through signal processing. You can work on signal processing for military GPS receivers, which have to be very accurate. And actually, I knew of someone who worked at a defense company, and their job was to interpret signals coming from certain aircrafts, and they had to determine where the signals were coming from and if they are coming from an enemy or a safe source. And by the way, this is a very math-intensive field. As a computer or electrical engineer, you will take at least one signals class in college, and of all your major courses, that one will be one of the most math-intensive. And real quick, there's also integrated circuits where you'd improve speed, efficiency, and reliability of the circuits that are used in things like our computers and phones. These can apply to audio amplifiers, video processors, memory, and more. Remember, computers have over 1 billion transistors to make them work, and the faster those all work, the better. And I'm going to stop there, but as always with these videos, there's of course more you can do. But also know for many majors, it's fairly easy to explain what you could work on, like building a bridge or designing an engine to be more efficient. This is something we can all understand. But with computers, there's so much more that most people don't have any idea about. Like compilers was one that most people probably don't know exist, even though they are in so many things we use. But as some examples, you can get jobs working in parallel computing, which is basically computation where large amounts of calculations are carried out simultaneously, such as this picture where you can see a supercomputer here at IBM. Or there's computer architecture, which describes the functionality and organization of computer systems, which has many aspects to it, like an arithmetic logic unit or a MUX, which aren't something most people know about. So you see there's much more within our computers and other systems that you just have to learn more about if you go into this field. And lastly, on a very high level, computer engineering can be simply broken up into computer hardware engineering and computer software engineering, where one side is more related to electrical engineering, like with circuits, microprocessors, routers, and so on, although there are some differences. And the other is more related to software engineering or computer science. And some schools may focus more on one than the other, where you're exposed more to hardware or software classes. But overall, I hope this gave you a good idea of what you can get into as a computer engineer. And if you like the video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time.
Baik, selesai kita hari ini. Ada pertanyaan?